Matilda is a woman that everyone would like to have as a mother. No wonder Munachi is so principled and nice to a fault. Her mother is a role model everyone needs as a mother. Ejike has finally met his match. Remember, after what happened in the last episode, Munachi's mom told Ejike that her daughter will not go back home with Ejike. But he thought that the mother was joking. On this episode, Matilda proved to Ejike that every single word that comes out of her mouth, she meant it. It all started when Choma's sister called Rita to actually seek for another help just to get drugs for her mother that is sick. It's so unfortunate that a man will tell you to forget and abandon your family all because of marriage. This is so painful to a parent, knowing fully well that your parent did everything they could to raise you. You had to abandon them because of a man that you came across, all in the name of marriage. Rita is a nice woman as well as Munachi. She decided to tell Choma's sister that this is a very wrong time because Munachi is going through a lot. She probably didn't know that Munachi lost her child. But then when Choma explained to her that Munachi actually had a miscarriage, she was crying because Munachi has been so kind to her. In fact, these two people are the best thing that has happened to her sister according to her. This is the only good thing that has come out of her own sister. Can you imagine all this in the name of marriage? You abandon your family, your mother is in the hospital, you cannot even raise a little money for her to get drugs because of your husband. This is a failed marriage. This is not what a marriage is supposed to be. I mean, marriage is supposed to be something that will embrace the family and enjoy together as happy people. Not this kind of thing. How can Choma allow this to happen to her even when you know your parents needs you? It is so painful. But then Rita has to raise 10,000 naira for Choma's sister just to get drugs or buy food for the mother. Having a friend who can care for even friends' family is so touching. While Munachi was waiting after she was discharged to go home, now she has to pick between her husband and the mother who she will go home with. It's about to go down. In fact, this is where the fire is. This episode carried fire, really, because the mother came in and Chinwe was trying to pack Munachi's clothes so that they can go home. She was very excited that the mother is coming to pick her up. But then when the mother entered the hospital, it seems as though Munachi was not even happy. Although she cannot be happy after losing a child, she is still paying and mourning her own child. But then the mother entered, and Ejike entered as well to come and pick up the wife. And he was so arrogant when he walked into the hospital room. How can you be this arrogant, even when you are pleading for Munachi's mom to allow you go home with her child? Ejike entered, and the first thing Ejike said was, Munachi, the car is ready, let's go. He thought the mother was joking. But the mother put it straight to Ejike. I told you already that my daughter is not going home with you. My daughter is going home with me. But Ejike was, Mom, we talked about this. How you don't have any right to take my wife to your house? Are you really saying this to Munachi's mom, that she doesn't have right over her own child? All because of what? Marriage. A marriage that Munachi's mom was not even aware of. Ejike should come out of this whole pride of a thing, because man, nothing is going to happen. Guy, you need to bring down your pride so that this woman can reason with you. Munachi told the mother that, Mommy, please, I want to go home with my husband. Munachi loved Ejike so much. But then the mother had to make Munachi choose between herself and the husband, because at this point, it's more like disrespecting your mother in the presence of your husband. She's not ready to take it. And besides, Munachi's mom is a disciplined woman that doesn't like to take nonsense. And she told the daughter straight, if you decide to go home with Ejike, from this day, you are no longer my daughter. I disown you. Everything that has to do with you, I am no longer interested. Don't come close to me. I am no longer your mother. Wow. At this point, Munachi has to choose. It is so hard and painful that Munachi has to be placed in this position to choose between her mom and the husband. If Ejike was doing things right, they won't get to this point. And Ejike was just standing right there waiting for Munachi to say, oh, I will go with you. She cannot do that. The mother raised her well. At least she has to respect the mother before she can come back to you. But then Ejike arrogantly came into Munachi's mother's house. Maybe because of what Dan would have been putting in his head. Chinwe was sitting on the couch and she had a knock on the door. Ejike was knocking so hard on the door, and then Munachi's mom came down. Who is that? Please open the door. Ejike walked in with Dan. This is Dan's first encounter with Munachi's mom. She thinks that Munachi's mom is one of those people that he can disrespect anyhow and go scot-free with it. I am sorry, Dan, you have met your mark. Ejike walked into the house arrogantly and was calling Munachi to get her stuff that he's here to pick her. Can you imagine? But then the mother started, how dare you come into my house and speak to my daughter in that manner? You think I'm one of those people that you can disrespect anyhow and go scot-free? That if you know what is best for you, you should leave my house. The only time I'm going to listen to you is when you go home, calm down and do the right thing. Then you can come to this house for us to have a discussion. But right now, like I told you, my daughter is not going home with you. But then you can imagine the effrontery. Dan told Munachi's mom that you have no right to tell Ejike that. Can you imagine? In Munachi's mother's house. And Munachi's mom was like, who is this? Who are you? I am warning you for the last time. I am not one of those elders that you go to the village and disrespect anyhow. I am Matilda, the no-nonsense lady. Hey. Dan, you don't have to mess with this woman, because if you dare, she's going to put you in your place. That you don't have to disrespect me. In fact, today should be the last day. The last time I'm talking to my son-in-law and you interfere in this matter. Who are you and who do you think you are? That you should get out of this house. And Dan immediately was telling Ejike, you see, I told you, you should be mindful of the kind of family that you get married to. That you should have checked before getting married to Munachi. Look at the mom. And she was so upset. He told Dan, one more word from you and I will put you in a place that you will never come back. But then Dan was already shaking, because he knows he has actually seen that this woman is not even joking. Dan ran out like an animal when he heard the woman said, where is my phone? Where is my phone? Let me make one simple call that will take you to a place that you will never come out. Dan ran out of the house. Even Chinwe was like, wow. She was shocked at Munachi's mother's action. She was in fact, she was excited at the way she was able to put Ejike and Dan in their own place. Dan, as usual, went out and was telling Ejike, I told you, I warned you to check the kind of family. In fact, look at that woman that was looking at me like that. In fact, she looked at me as one of a demon that she needs to cast out. Oh yes, you are a demon in the life of Ejike. You have been a demon and you continue to remain a demon. Because, how have you helped Ejike? Every time you come around Ejike is one bad thing or the other. That Ejike should leave Munachi. That Munachi will come back when she's looking for money. You think Munachi is Choma? Munachi is not Choma. She's a woman that is made. And besides, how did you even see Munachi's mom? She's not somebody who is a beggar. But Ejike told Dan, Munachi is not that kind of woman. She's not a woman from the street. That if Munachi's mom keeps Munachi in this house, she will no longer come back to me. She will not. That she's not that kind of woman. Oh yes. Dan, you can already see that the person you are talking about is nothing like Choma. So you cannot control her like the way you want Ejike to control Munachi. It's not going to happen. So come out of it. But Chinwe is a changed person now. She talks with a lot of sense and maturity. When Ejike entered the house and encountered Chinwe asked him, why are you here? That you are back here again? Listen, let me tell you, except you bury mama, nothing will work for you. You have lost your child, you have lost your wife. In fact, this is just the beginning. Except you do the right thing, nothing will happen. Ejike need to listen. Listen, all this arrogance is not going to take you anywhere. In fact, you have met your match. Munachi's mom is not going to allow you to have your way. So you better get out of the house. And he was there acting stupid as usual. If you have not liked the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'll bring the next episode as soon as it drops. But for now, take care.